Another addition strategy that you can use is the break apart method, which takes your addends and breaks them into expanded form, and then you add the parts together. This is where all of that place value work really comes into play. The steps to doing the break apart method are: number 1, write each addend in expanded form. Stack the numbers that have the same place values on top of each other. Step 2 is to add the numbers with the same place values together. Write the answers to that underneath the long number sign. So you can see that step right here. Step 3 is write the new expanded form equation into standard form. You see you've created a new expanded form equation, and now you need to write it into standard form. Notice if you had to regroup, remember to add those amounts together. So you can see we've got 50 here and we have 13 here. So we need to add those 5 tens with that 1 10 to get our answer of 963. All right, mathematicians, we are ready for actually my favorite method of solving addition with regrouping, which is the break apart method, or the method that we use expanded form. Now, we've done a lot of practicing on expanded form, looking at the value of each of our places, and that's really going to help us out when we are doing this method. So step 1 in the break apart method is you write each of your addends in expanded form. So 242 would be 200 plus 40 plus 2. And 329 would be 300 plus 20 plus 9. Now, to finish setting this up, just so that I remember that I am adding, I put a big old plus sign here and a long equal sign there to show that it is a really big addition number sentence. Then step 2 is to add the numbers together that have the same place value. So I'm going to go 200 plus 300, that equals 500. 40 plus 20, that equals 60. And 2 plus 9, that equals 11. Now, if we notice right here, we have a problem because that 11 is greater than 10, meaning we are going to be regrouping this and looking at it as a 10. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. I'll show you the first method here, and then on the next problem, I'll show you the other way to do it. So you can come over here and just do 60 plus 11 and get your 71, and then add it to your 500. So you would get 571. Okay, let's do another practice problem using the break apart method. Again, step 1, write it in expanded form. So we have 700 plus 40 plus 5, and 100 plus 70 plus 3. Just like before, I'm going to put my giant plus sign and my giant equal sign. And step 2 is to add the place values together. So 700 plus 100 is 800. 40 plus 70 is 110. And 5 plus 3 is 8. So now if you notice, this time we're having to regroup right here in our 10 spot. We can't have 110 and then just squeeze it in and write it. Now, last time I showed you how you could just add the two amounts together that match in the place value. The other thing you can also do is to break this apart. So you could look at this as 800. To write 110 in expanded form, you would have 100 plus 10 plus 8. Now, if you notice, you've got this 100 and this 100. It's the exact same way of thinking as it would be to leave it as 110, but if it's easier to see why these two numbers go together, then you should absolutely break it apart again. Then the third step is to take this long expanded form number sentence and write it as a standard form. 800 plus 100 is 900, and then 10 plus 8, we get 918. And here's a little tip for you to help your teachers know what of all of this brilliant thinking is your actual answer. I always have my students circle their answer. So then as I'm looking through all of their smart thinking, I can say, oh, this is the actual answer.